shorter and shallower recessions, more infrequent recessions. But in these 40 years, we've seen slower growth, less job creation, more unemployment, more frequent recessions, and sharper and deeper recessions, as well as the panics like we had in 2008. That's very consistent with a pure paper money standard. Money is managed by elite civil servants, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, who also tend to be well-meaning people who are just doing their best. But it's an ungovernable system. It's like trying to fly a plane without a gyroscope.
Before we get to calls for our guest, Ralph Benko, a little bit of pushback from someone who wrote in Slate at slate.com.
Yes.
It's Christopher Beam.
I read that article.
Gold rush, he writes, what would happen if we did this? First, the government would have to decide what the price of gold is,
Correct.
writes Christopher Beam. That's a lot harder than it sounds. In theory, there's an ideal rate at which to peg currency against gold. We just don't know what it is. Gold is notoriously volatile. Its price has doubled over the last 2 years. If the Federal Reserve were simply to fix the dollar to the price of gold on any given day and demand for gold changed drastically, it would wreak havoc on the economy. Response?
Yeah, he's right. But he's overlooking a critical point, and that is, although the government is arguably not capable of getting this right, the markets are very capable of getting this right. And so by announcing that we are going to restore convertibility at a date certain in the future, then the markets will, as we say, arbitrage, forgive me, the price, because they will kind of figure out what the market clearing price of gold, what the natural market clearing price of gold will be, and then the government will peg to that price. With the proponents of the gold standard, consider small r Republican money, the people's money, not money that is managed by a small group of people. You have the power to go in and get gold if you don't have from a bank. If you don't believe that the Treasury is issuing, or the Fed is issuing, the right amount of paper money, and that it's going to depreciate and inflation is going to come, gold is immune from that. So who's mostly against it? Congress is going to have to be pushed into this kicking and screaming, and so is Wall Street. This is like a credit card for Congress. So Congress is spending money like a drunken sailor, with all due respect to President Reagan, who used to say that was defamatory to drunken sailors, because Congress is spending it far more profligately. There are only three ways that Congress gets its hands on our money: taxing, borrowing, and printing. And the printing press, which is a metaphor for the Fed's creation of book entry dollars, is probably by far the worst, because it inevitably leads to the depreciation of the dollar and inflation, which is a wealth tax that hits working guys like me particularly hard.
Before I
Go ahead.
If that's okay.
Yeah.
You're also advocating for states, individual states, to go ahead and switch to the gold standards, leaving behind the federal government. Do you think that it would be beneficial for the United States economy in its current state, especially our currency being devalued against the euro, for individual states to go ahead and forego our federal currency?
Thanks.
Okay, first question is, I'm not an investor. I'm a working guy, and I don't have any gold investments at all. I hate to shock you, but if we go to the gold standard, it's highly likely that gold will stabilize, at or relatively near its current price. And if we don't go to the gold standard, it's highly likely that gold will go to the moon. So if there was, if I were looking to stoke the price of gold, I would be attacking the dollar. I would be praising the paper dollar, and not moving for gold convertibility, which will stabilize the paper dollar.
Go ahead.